Thank you. Welcome to Geek News Live, episode 21. My name is Jay, joined by Max, Philip, and Mike. Dan couldn't make it today. He's not feeling super well, so
Oh, I'm
wish you
feeling
a
fine,
speedy
Jake.
recovery.
Oh,
um,
sorry.
so yeah, we have been working a lot behind the scenes over the last couple weeks, and we have found ourselves a temporary podcast home until we get our website going, which should hopefully be done the next month. And we are pleased to announce that as of 6:30 p.m., all 7 of our last casts are live on iTunes.
All
So
right.
go to
Well done.
iTunes, type in Geek News, one word, and then start downloading some episodes because it's pretty exciting. We've been working on it for quite a while, and we had to find something that was pretty user friendly considering all of our schedules. But yeah, today we are going to discuss some pretty um, big Phase 3 rumors. We're going to talk about the actor who plays Chewbacca is back in the hospital, and the new Power Rangers movie. Jason David Frank has made some statements. Philip's got some video game news. We'll check in with Max in the world of comic books. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm going to read from the website the article I have up is from the IB Times. The Latino Review originally posted this. They're pretty accurate news source, but these are rumors as of now until it officially comes out, you know. So anyway, I'm just gonna go through all the rumors and then we'll speculate. Avengers: Age of Ultron. We've already know that at the end of the movie, the roster of the Avengers will look very different. They're just confirming that rumor, or as confirmed as a rumor can be. At the end of Thor Ragnarok, Thor will be in a galactic prison. Captain America: Civil War. It will be revealed that Bucky Barnes is the guy who murdered Howard Stark. That leads to more tension between Tony Stark and Iron Man, because obviously, or Tony Stark and Captain America, as Captain America, is going to stick up for his friend, and I'm sure Tony's going to be pretty pissed off that the guy killed his father. Black Panther will be in Civil War. Crossbones apparently will kill Captain America by the end of that movie. And then, as in the comic books, Bucky will take over Captain America's identity, leading to Infinity War 1. Captain America and Thor will not be in it. This is still part of the rumors. Spider-Man will be in Avengers Infinity War, according to this article. The deal was done. They had their Spider-Man summit, and the rumors are, and there's pictures floating across the web and videos of spider webs on the Avengers Infinity War logo. Um, it Part of the rumor says that Andrew Garfield nor Tobey Maguire will reprise their role. And
How is Tobey Maguire even in the discussion?
they threw everything, man. And then Avengers Infinity War Part 2 will see the return of all the original Avengers, including Captain America, Steve Rogers. I'm sure it's contract reasons that they are doing that to keep him out until that movie, but Steve Rogers will be back in Infinity War Part 2. Again, according to all of this stuff, and if even half of it is true or 20% of it's true, there's some pretty big stuff going on. So, Max, your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's all well and good, I guess. I mean, it's super early, and it's like speculation at best, or it's like, okay, I got insider tips about these plot points, but I'm just hoping for a good movie. None of it sounds terrible, so I'm not. There's nothing really like I can't believe this is gonna happen, or it's gonna go down like that. Traditionally the Avengers change up rosters like people change underwear. Like there's so many people that have been on the Avengers. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, they're getting the new people in there, switching it out. They're kind of keeping with the tradition, so it's really cool. Like as far as Cap dying and all that stuff. If they're gonna call it Civil War, and that's what happened in the comic books. So I mean, it's not really a spoiler for anyone who's read it. It's all well and good. It all seems status quo to me. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool that some of the big players are dropping out of some of the movies. And again, if they're gonna have a major death or two, that'd be cool. But yeah, and nothing really. There was nothing in there that I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that they're blank.
Oh, I forgot one part of the rumor that at the end of Civil War, Stark will go into space.
What?
Which, in the comic books, that's how the Guardians come, if I remember correctly. I think you, maybe,
uh,
Max.
yeah, the newer, crappier comic books, that's exactly how they did it. It was super stupid.
Mike, your thoughts on this stuff?
I'll believe it when I see it, but it's fun to speculate for right now. As I recall, Sebastian Stan, the guy who plays Winter Soldier, Bucky, I think like what was it, a couple years ago when he was confirmed for Captain America: First Avenger, like there was a rumor going around that he got himself the Samuel L. Jackson deal of like 9, 10 pictures. So it makes sense if he were to take over as Captain America at the end of Civil War and maybe show up every once in a while in another movie, recruiting new Avengers essentially, like Captain Marvel or some Inhumans maybe or whatever, and lead into something like Infinity War. And yeah, I mean that makes sense. And obviously, yeah, they'll bring back the big guns essentially for the finale to that, obviously, because yeah, you got to have the original Cap in there doing. There's one moment from the original comic book that I want to see, and that's Captain America being the last man standing, facing off against Thanos, and Thanos is just like, "You're just a guy, I could crush you like that," and Cap will just be like, "Okay, fine, I'm a guy, but this guy's gonna do his best to whip your ass." So, and he does for a little bit. So I want that moment at least. And if we gotta kill him off, or whatever time travel bullet thing that they did in the original comic with Crossbones, then so be it. But I like the idea of kind of dropping out some of our key Avengers, because it's something I've been saying for a while about these movies, is that there hasn't been big losses. I mean, yeah, Coulson died and came back, blah blah blah, but like there hasn't been. Yeah, he got Coulson, but yeah, there haven't been huge losses really. I mean, there have been shakeups, but you haven't felt the effects of like a major character leaving. So that'd be kind of cool, to the point where it's like, yeah, they're back now to wrap it all up with us.
Um, yeah, and what Mike said is very important. This is all speculation, obviously. It's what we do. I mean, we could just read you the news stories, but that wouldn't be fun. The geeky show, geeks like to speculate, so speculating is a lot of fun. Philip, how do you feel about this news?
So I read over the article, and I mean, I think for the most part, most of the stuff is kind of logical. That I felt that Captain America was going to die at some point. Just kind of made sense. Somebody big needs to die. He's the easiest person that can go away, relatively, at least from the comic book lore. I mean, I guess they could kill Tony Stark. That would be interesting if they did that. That would be very dynamic.
I would. And then Cap wears the Iron Man armor. Oh,
That would be kind of funny.
Just called that one in.
Nice. But for the most part, like a lot of it, I think seems realistic. I don't know necessarily that. I think a lot of the details of what happens in between the movies and all that, I think that's what's missing. Like Iron Man's going to space, but who knows why he's going to space? Because I mean, the theory is from this next movie that they might be having to kick Hulk off the planet without Planet Hulk, and they'll just have to, I guess, I don't know, have a behind the scenes.
He misses his bromance.
Yeah, there you go. But other than that, I mean, I think it's some interesting topics. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking like Max was saying. I mean, I think a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it's kind of logical. Let me try and look at the article real quick to see if there's anything else that really caught my attention. And I think for the most part, like Black Panther being introduced in there kind of makes sense, especially since they couldn't get Spider-Man. And the fact that Spider-Man will be in Avengers Infinity War, that's logical at this point. Like it seems like Sony is desperate enough to make a buck that I'm pretty sure they signed on for that deal, and it just happened to be too late for Marvel to include it in Civil War.
My question would be, does that mean if he's going to be in Infinity War, if that's a speculation, assuming, that means Sinister Six, all that stuff would have to be done. I'm guessing,
Or not exist, but yeah.
or not exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's probably like I want to roll with not exist. I don't think that if Andrew Garfield ends up playing Spider-Man, I'd be really surprised.
I don't think you will.
If it's a Marvel movie, I'd be very, very surprised to see any association with the other movies. Just that it's Spider-Man in this movie. I'd be really surprised.
I have a feeling they'd have to start clean and just introduce him. Like,
I think that's my suspicion. I mean, because for all we know, there could even be work of a cross. I mean, there's not enough information out there to know this, but that Marvel Studios is helping Sony to write a reboot of the franchise. That's going to happen, right? Obviously, it's going to be another reboot. You know it's happening, Mike.
Who called it?
I know.
Called it?
I don't care if they reboot it.
Origin
Just
story.
no more origin stories. Just get rid of the origin stories. Like, seriously.
Honestly, that'd be a great start to Phase 4. If they do a Phase 4, that would be a good start. Is just hit the ground running with new Spider-Man. Forget the origin. We all know it by now. Just go.
This is very true. Isn't it?
Again, and they better get Tobey Maguire back now that I know he's on the table. I never knew he was on the table. They better get him back.
60-year-old Tobey Maguire.
Oh man, he can have the hair thing and be like, "Yeah, I'm emo and this all sucks. I'm gonna go dance on tables now."
Oh my.
Then you gotta get Topher Grace back as Venom.
Oh god.
Forget that.
But yeah, it all sounds good to me. It's all stuff that's been speculated for a while. I personally, out of all the rumors in this thing and all the spoiler-ish stuff, I believe the Spider-Man thing. I firmly believe Spider-Man has a deal with Marvel. I just, like it said in the article, it just wasn't in time to get him into Civil War. Even though I believe that when we do finally get an official announcement, it'll be right around the time Civil War comes out, if there's not like some kind of post-credit or something along those lines. Joe P. asks, if they have Spider-Man, this won't be a new thing for the Avengers. How many bad Hulk movies were there? And he was the star of the Avengers.
It's true.
That's true, Joe. But the Hulk movie with Edward Norton is not that bad.
It's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Better than bad. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, I thought so too. There was when Edward Norton was thrown out of the Marvel universe. People, nerds on the internet were like, "Oh my God, you can't have the Hulk without Edward Norton." Now that Ruffalo has had his chance, people would be so pissed if he brought Edward Norton back. We're so finicky.
Edward Norton is Spider-Man. There we go. Just really mess with the Marvel guys' minds.
He could do it.
And then throw in Michael Keaton as Birdman, the actual superhero.
You can have Michael Bay direct it.
There you go.
I want to see DC do a Crisis on Infinity and bring Keaton back as Batman, and then bring like everybody back. That'd be fantastic.
Clooney too?
Hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want Clooney too? Because I'm sure he's up for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, technically, Clooney and Keaton played the same incarnation of Bruce Wayne, so I'd rather have Keaton's Bruce Wayne.
No, dude, no. There's
only Keaton, Kilmer, and
Kilmer, Keaton, Clooney,
and Adam West if he's still alive. God bless him.
Adam West.
And I want to see Burt Ward stretch back into those Robin tights.
You'd be the only one.
You can tell you have a penis.
All right. Moving on. According to Jason David Frank, the new Power Rangers movie is still being filmed this year, despite Roberto Orci leaving the project. Jason David Frank. He says he's in this movie, which I think we've all speculated for a while. This guy is loyal, like, to no end. Like, out of all the people that have been in franchises and then try to distance himself, he, like, throws himself in the middle of these franchises. Like, he gets it when he's at Comic-Con, which is probably why he's so popular. His booths are always full. And now he's coming back into the Power Rangers realm. I mean,
I thought he was back on the show. I didn't actually watch like I said I was going to, but
I
I
watched the
thought
one episode. He was in it for like 30 seconds.
oh,
That and wouldn't he like kick everyone's ass if they gave him crap about it?
yes.
Yeah, the dude's cut apparently. So yeah, it's like
And he's still an MMA fighter, so you generally watch what you say.
mhm.
To people who sign up to get thrown into a cage with another dude and feed each other senseless.
Wear whatever you want, dude. You can wear the old Power Rangers outfit, but I know you can kick it off.
You want to wear the helmet? Fine. You want to talk to the sword? Whatever, man.
Philip, what were you saying about the Power Rangers movie earlier? Did you read something?
So I thought I read something where it said they're going to get superpowers, which would be weird.
Oh man, it'd be cool. Whatever they do.
They have
You down for
superpowers.
superpowered Power Rangers?
Yeah, whatever, man. Like it's so stupid anyway. Who cares? like,
Wait,
Power-
they didn't have superpowers?
like they
Kind of.
I don't call them superpower. Like, I guess they did.
I'm not really a Power Rangers dude. I'm more of a Batman the Animated. That was what I was watching when that came out. So I was like,
Okay, so they would say it's moving time, right? And then they would get these suits beamed onto them.
I know
Right.
that much. Yeah.
And so then right away they learn kung fu. So the suits know kung fu or they know kung fu. And then the bad guys would be too strong, so they'd call their giant robots. So no, they don't really have superpower.
Okay.
As superpower.
Fair enough.
That would be my point. If they have superpowers, why do they need robots?
I mean, like, they were enhanced, so the wording might not be correct. You know what I'm saying? You might be reading too much into it. Like, they're like, okay, well, there's superpower. They fly around and they have these suits, these giant, in case of emergency, call your giant Megazord.
That's an awesome. We need to make that sign.
I'm down. I would rock that.
Oh my.
Oh man, that's funny. And other news, moving on from Power Rangers, which as soon as the new Jason David Frank movie hits, Max and I will be posting a review because it's going to be awesomely horrible. Star Wars, Chewbacca actor Peter Mayhew is back in the hospital
Oh.
with pneumonia.
I think we should only speak in Wookiee for this segment.
Just wanted to extend get well from us here at Geek News, which I'm sure you probably won't ever hear this, but maybe somebody.
Mala and Grandpa Itchy send their warmest regards, Peter Mayhew.
Oh man,
I'm never getting past. Well, no, that dude's been through a lot. That dude's been through a lot, actually. Like, he got his kneecaps replaced or something, right?
Mhm.
Like, he was having trouble with his bone structure, essentially, because he's so tall and everything like that. Like, his body literally couldn't handle, like, his height, so he had to get, like, new kneecaps or something. So, yeah, tough break, but nice guy. I've heard, like, he's the best guy at the Star Wars cons to, like, meet.
Oh, that's cool.
I've kind of heard that Anthony Daniels is kind of a prick at times, and he and Kenny Baker don't get along, which is hysterical because they share all their scenes together as C-3PO and R2-D2. But like, yeah, I've heard like Peter Mayhew's like just a darling to be around at conventions.
Philip just sent me a link. Apparently, the interview will be released on Netflix starting January 24th. So,
Saturday.
anybody that wants to watch it can.
Finally!
That movie was so funny. I mean, it's 98% dick and fart jokes.
Dude,
So funny.
I can't remember some internet reviewer was saying it's like he's like he enjoyed the movie, but he's like I just can't believe that due to the infamous nature of this that this is gonna be in a history book someday. It's like those freedom fighters for American free speech, Seth Rogen and James Franco, talking about dick and fart jokes and getting high.
Not like the South Park guys who have their part jokes, but also present a really smart comedy and like social yada yada yada. Like this is straight up the most retarded humor the basest, dumbest humor you're gonna get your hands on, and they're just like, yes, loving it, so don't even care.
All right,
going down in the books.
I'll finally get to see it, I guess. Gee.
It has a really good opening sequence, and it's got some good stuff spread throughout it. It is a Seth Rogen movie. Like like Max said, don't expect anything other than 4-year-old humor. But
does he do his annoying ass laugh for a majority, or is he pretty good on the laugh?
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
I was laughing pretty hard through most of it.
Rogen?
Well, I just can't.
Yeah.
I like Seth Rogen just fine. I just can't stand his laugh where he's like.
He does that.
He does do that.
A few, not throughout the whole movie though.
No.
You have some Franco scenes.
Cool.
But yeah, if you're listening to us live, please send us any questions, comments. We will touch on them. I want to thank everybody who's commented on our YouTube page. So far, it's been pretty positive. So Max doesn't have anybody to cuss out or scream at on today's cast. And again, please check us out on iTunes. There will be a link on our YouTube page sometime in the next 24 hours. So please check us out there. And moving on to video game news. Philip, what do you got for us?
So I guess the big release this week was Saints Row 4 Re-Elected Edition came out. For the most part, I haven't really played it, but everything I checked out from the reviews and everything, or at least for the new-gen consoles, for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, is unless you haven't played it on the original consoles, it's not worth your effort. They said they did up-res the original game, but it's not great. But it is a great value because you get all the DLC with it. I think it's like $60, and you get all the DLC plus the new one, which is Gat Out of Hell, which they said actually at least wasn't completely derivative of the original game. You actually get some new powers, you get some new ideas, and otherwise they said it's an interesting try if it's your first time. If it's not, you might want to pass. The big interesting news that I found out today, another re-release, of course, because it's new-gen consoles, we got to release old games. But at least they did a few things. It's Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. They're releasing it all as one package for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I think it's called the Handsome Jack Collection, or the Handsome Collection, maybe. Anyways, the special edition, I will say this before I get into the story, looks awesome. It actually comes, it costs $400, mind you, it's not cheap, but it comes with a claptrap robot. It's completely like automate, like you can run around, you can do all kinds of stuff. It'll look cool. I just don't know if it's worth $400.
How big is it?
It's supposed to be, I think, about like 12 inches.
Oh man!
It's not gigantic, not life size.
How awesome would that be?
What?
How awesome would that be if you had like a real claptrap rolling around?
Yeah, that would be
Gyro.
cool. So on the update, going back to it, on the updated news, it actually includes all the DLC, of course, for both games. And it actually includes cross-save functionality. So I think they're trying to get people in maybe that played Borderlands 2 or played the pre-sequel. So if you actually saved it, if you had it on the Xbox 360, you have to play it on the Xbox One. If you played it on the PS3, you have to play it on the PS4. But if you did at any time and you saved it on the previous platform, it'll migrate to the new one automatically.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's really cool. And then, and the new advantage, and this is for people that miss old school split screen multiplayer, or not multiplayer, but co-op. They're actually doing 4-player split screen. The old consoles could not even support 2-player barely. You could do it, but it would lag.
Yeah.
It would be awkward. And this one, they said it runs fluid and fast.
Nice.
Yeah, so it looks really cool, and that's scheduled to come out March 24th.
Well, especially at the size that you got TVs now, like now it's not a chore to have 4 players split screen.
Yeah, going back to GoldenEye.
Back in the day when you had to, it'd be like, oh, okay, I can kind of see, but now like that's really
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's Nintendo 64 is when I remember that, splitting that screen up in four and this little 27-inch TV and divided into four.
Quick thing, Philip. Joe was asking, when is Minecraft going to be on the Wii U? My
I
kid
got
just
an I got an
what's that?
answer for you, Joe. I just
Oh,
Googled it. Um, it doesn't look good.
mm,
It looks like Sony and Microsoft are going to be the ones releasing it for now. There's nothing
oh.
else on it except for the fact that it's not coming anytime soon, if it even does come out.
Even from what I hear, though, like just the computer version would be the best way to go, anyways, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
importers.
I mean, it's on. I think it's the Wii U and the 3DS are the only two consoles it's actually not on because
Hmm.
it's on the Vita, and you can play it on your phone.
It's even on the Jaguar 360 for some reason. And that
Before Microsoft bought it, they put it everywhere.
Anything else, Philip, in video games?
No, those were really the two big interesting news topics that I found for this week so far. I mean, Battlefield is going to have it's going to come out first on the Xbox One, but that's really more a Battlefield Hardline. Let me add that in there for people wondering. It's not a re-release of 4. It's actually the new one that's supposed to be good. Um, it's going to come out early, but what they mean by that is if you're in the EA Access program, you get it 3 days earlier, so therefore you can play it earlier than anybody else can. So to me, that's a cop-out, not really true.
Mm.
But mention that for the crowd that's really into looking forward to the Battlefield game.
Max, anything in comic books? Did you get a chance to check out the first issue of Star Wars?
Yes, I did, and it was okay. It's just the first one, so we'll just see what they do. The artwork is great. I don't have it on hand, but I
No?
did. I did bring. I enjoyed it. I read it. It's got everything you want there. Han Solo's being witty and cracking people upside the heads, shooting first.
I was
and
about to say,
it's all right. And again, the artwork is really good. I really like Cassidy. He does a really great job. Him and Joss Whedon did that astonishing X-Men run that is my
yeah.
favorite of all time. So again, if you want to see his artwork, check out the Star Wars book. Check out Astonishing X-Men from back in the day. And I did read Captain America, the new one. So now Falcon is Captain America now.
Oh, cool.
And it's really crappy. I gotta say. And I'm jumping into the third one, so I might have missed something. I don't think I did because I read the little synopsis they gave you in the front of the book. It's it's just not very good. You guys can do better. You guys can do better on the Captain America book. I'm gonna get it for a few more months, see if it picks up any, but not good so far. So I'm not recommending that one. The Star Wars book I am recommending.
Okay.
Cool.
Also, and some comic book news that Philip just sent me. The Marvel confirms comic book reboot and Secret Wars event series. The Marvel Universe as you know it is done. Are they doing a new 52 style thing with that?
Well, they're just doing it's not a new 52 style thing. It's a comic book thing. They always do this.
Yeah, there's always a shakeup.
Oh, we're just decimating everything that happened, and now everything's new again. And that's just how they sell comic books. It happens like once every 2 years. Like it's they have these big events, and like something crucial always changes, and they're redoing Secret Wars and using that to reboot the whole thing because they just did it with their Marvel Now. They just did this. It's
like it's kind of hard to really invest and care that the universe is going to be reshuffled when you've got like how many new number ones coming out every 2 months for
dude.
like the same book and so forth. Like, okay, get ready for Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, volume 3, 4, 5, number 1 now.
Right.
Like,
No, it's ridiculous.
it's kind of hard to care. Like even with the New 52 stuff, I'm like, okay, it's got some weird rules to it. Some characters like Superman have been totally like reshuffled. Meanwhile, apparently everything that's happened to Batman is canon in his whole like 75 years some run. Everything that happened to him is canon, but Superman gets a whole reshuffle. It's just like, yeah, I get that they want to try to keep getting new readers in and in, but I'm like, okay, fine, rebooting the universe, whatever, it happens now. Like, there was a point where I used to care and invest in that. Like when, what was it? Even when something like, anyone remembers Zero Hour from like the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
We might have been a little young for Crisis on Infinite Earths, but Zero Hour, when they reshuffled some stuff, I'm kind of like, oh, that's different. But now I'm just like, meh, whatever.
Become jaded.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm always interested to see where they take it, because it's always like, okay, well now, what do they do next? And and then like whenever they just go back to normal, because like I had stopped reading some comics when am I cutting in and out again?
A little
Sorry.
bit, not really.
I can hear you
Not bad, okay.
visually.
Visually, okay. Oh, that's fine.
Visually, you're a mess, Max.
That's okay. That's normal. But no, it's they killed Nightcrawler, and I stopped reading comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And and then he came back already, and I didn't even know. So he's got his own comic book now. It's ridiculous. So yeah, it's just like they always do this crap, and I'm interested to read it. I'm not jaded in that. Oh, here they go again. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, let's see what they do now. It's been a couple years. They gotta jumble stuff up to try to keep the kids reading.
Yeah. Just make the characters interesting. I mean,
yeah, that's what I would love. But yeah, it's a shame that it's always so. It's like there's only a few really good books all the time.
Honestly, like I could give two shits about continuity in the long run. It's just like stuff like the Elseworld stuff, where there were interesting stories that stayed true to the character. That I enjoyed those, and that had nothing to do with any previous continuity. It was just an interesting take on a character, or even like standalone things. Like technically, the Killing Joke is not in any sort of continuity, really.
No, but everyone
aside from the fact that he cripples Batgirl, that's the only thing that really stays in there as being canon.
But like Gotham by Gaslight, I don't know if you ever read that, but by Mike Mignola does. I think he wrote and drew that one. But oh man, it's great. It's just a great little thing. Batman versus Jack the Ripper, and that's it. And it's so awesome. But yeah, they can't do these things. They never seem to. I don't know, like whenever the talking heads in the that make things happen get together, it's always something stupid. But, they're doing it again, so hey, there might be some good stuff. I really liked the Marvel Now. I really like Captain Marvel. I read the first few of those, and they were good. I really liked it, and so there's some good stuff in there. Most of it's crap, but yeah, good stuff.
Yep. Poor Amit, my friend Amit. His favorite character is the male version of Captain Marvel, and he's like the one character that has stayed dead since they killed him.
Oh, the original version of him who got cancer or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like his death is like the origin of like this Captain Marvel. So it's like they can't take it away anymore. It'd be like if the Abin Sur or whatever never crash landed and gave Green Lantern the ring. It's like well, I like Abin Sur. He's cool. No, he's gotta die.
One more news story, and then we will start wrapping it up. But they have a release date for Netflix's Daredevil, April 10th.
Woo! Can't wait.
Nice. Let's get this stuff rolling. I'm interested. I'm very interested.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna not have a life for 10 hours, 10 solid hours. How many episodes are they putting out?
10, I believe it's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a 10-hour run of Daredevil on that day. It's going to be awesome.
I really hope they go dark with it. Like, I really want it to be very like mature.
I heard that they are following closely to the Man Without Fear, Frank Miller Daredevil. Pick that up. I own it. It's really good. I believe it's one of the best takes on Daredevil there is, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're looking for a little insight onto what they were thinking about when they were making the show, check that out.
Like, it's on Netflix, so yeah, it's like, don't pull your punches with it. Give
They don't
it, give
have
it to us raw.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you see like House of Cards, that show is pretty
Yeah.
like, and that's a political thriller. You know, that show gets pretty dark and
Oh.
visceral.
Marco Polo does as well, from what I've
Mhm.
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah. From what's
they have carte blanche to do whatever they want.
nice.
Awesome. Some stuff coming up. We are going to be doing the Dark Knight Trilogy review probably Saturday morning, so we'll have that video on YouTube sometime Saturday and on iTunes by Sunday. We are still going to do the Star Wars animated series up till now. We just got a little bit busy last week, so we'll do that sometime this week. There will be an Oscars pre-cast and after-cast because some of us are movie geeks here, and we're going to get on here before, and we're going to speculate, and then we're going to come on after and talk about it.
I haven't seen half of the Best Picture nominees, so it's like it doesn't even matter.
I'm working on it. There's a few that I really want to see. So.
Okay, as a black person, I guess I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but I didn't even know that Martin Luther King movie came out.
Well, let me get.
I think.
It's supposed to be really
I mean,
good, though. It's supposed to be.
It was made and it came out and it got an Oscar nomination before I knew it existed.
That's awesome.
It's usually how it works. So we'll be doing that. After we do the Dark Knight trilogy, we are going to start reviewing the Marvel movies. So that should be fun. I think that's all we have for today. You're going to start seeing a lot more from our channel, so please check us out on youtube.com/geeknews. Check out Mike McG at youtube.com/MikeMcGTV. Also check Mike out and some of his writing on neverendingradicaldude.com. Also, for all of your gaming needs, go to www.gogameisland.com and check them out. If you're local, check them out in the Polaris Shopping Center. My name is Jay, joined by Philip, Max, and Mike. Have a great